Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the update on my Shop My Stash that I had for December, and I'm also gonna do my picks for January. But before we jump into any of that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just jump into the products. So first up on my list I have a duo from NARS. This is one of their eyeshadow duos and this is in the shade Alhambra. This was not very used when I rolled it in last month because I had it for a really long time, but I just never really reached for this duo. But I have reached for it quite a lot this month, and I'm actually wearing this today on my brow bone as well as in my inner corner, but I have inner corner top with something else that we'll talk about later. And I actually hit pan on one of the shades, which is this one right here. That's the one that I've been using on my inner corner and my brow bone, and I have actually used this as a face highlighter a couple times too. And when I did, I mixed both of them, so I did get use out of both sides. But I'm super excited to now have pan on one of these shades, and I said that this would be a great way to see if I wanted to keep this in my collection. And although I could dupe this 1,000 times over in my collection because these are very kind of simple shades, I want to keep it for now because this is something that I can easily reach for. And if I just want to reach for like an inner corner highlight or brow bone highlight and I don't know what to reach for, I know that I can reach for this one now. So I'm gonna keep it in my collection, and I'm really, like I said, happy that I hit pan on this shade. And in total, including today, I did reach for that 17 times, so basically almost every single day I wore makeup. Next up we have a single from Cleona, which I rolled in, and I have been loving using this. This is in the shade Glow. It will be really difficult to show on camera because they just look white, but this is like blue to purple kind of shift. It does have like a lot of shift to it, and I have reached for this quite a decent amount of times this past month, and I have a slight dip in this now. I mean, it's a very slight dip. I'm not sure you can tell, but this was pretty brand new. I picked this up in, was it in, I think I got it in October, end of October, so it's not too old in my collection. But I have reached for this 7 times in the past month, including today. I'm wearing this on my inner corner on top of the Alhambra shade, and yeah, I just love this eyeshadow so much, and I'm really happy that I did put one of my Cleona shades in this rotation because since they are so brand new, I do want to reach for them a bit more. And yeah, I've really been enjoying using this. Next up we have another product from NARS. This is a blush though. I'm actually not sure if this is advertised as a blush or highlighter because it is quite a light shimmery blush for me. This is in the shade Free Soul, and I did reach for this one 6 times over the last month, but I did also have this in my top 5 bottom 5 product pan quite recently, so I have used this a lot in the last couple of months. But I don't really have a dip or anything. This is a very hard pressed product, and I don't think I would ever have been able to get a dip in this even using it for just 1 month. But I did mention last month that I wanted to use this a bit more to decide what I wanted to do with it, because I'm not really sure if I want to keep this in my collection, if I want to declutter it. But for now I think I want to hold on to it because it is a unique product to me, and although I don't always reach for this, I did reach just for this like as a blush all over a couple times, and it wasn't my favorite look, but I did like it together with one eyeshadow look that I did, and then also kind of using this as a blush topper. So I will hold on to this, but I will just keep kind of monitoring how much I use this in the next maybe like, I don't know, 6 months or so, and if I haven't reached for it much, I will maybe declutter it at that point. Next up we have the last eyeshadow that I had in the last rotation. This is a shade from Makeup Geek in the shade Untamed. This is what this one looks like, and I don't really have much of a dip in this one because I only reached for this 3 times. I do have it on top of what I'm wearing today, a little bit on my lids. But I just have had so many eyeshadows I've been working on, and since we are entering the end of the year, I did kind of want to focus on using up or hitting pan on as many things as I could. So this is not something that I have reached for too much, but I did reach for it, like I said, 3 times, and that was enough for me to make a decision on what I feel about this one. And I do absolutely love this shade. It's such a beautiful, very kind of warm toned orangey gold, and yeah, it's just stunning, so I definitely will reach for this more, and I think this will be a shade that I will absolutely love come summer. Then the last item that I've had in over the last month is a lip product. This one comes from Kat Von D, or KVD Vegan Beauty as they now are called, and this is in the shade Roxy. It's one of their liquid lipsticks like this. I have used this 7 times over the last month, and I have absolutely loved using it. This is such a unique shade, and if you have seen me rock a purple lip in any of my recent videos, this is the one that I've been wearing. It's just so pretty, and I feel like I don't really have anything like it in my collection. I feel like the only thing that could potentially come close, I haven't actually compared them, is Heron from MAC. But yeah, like I said, I haven't compared them. This is definitely something that I'm going to hold on to. It is a bit of a controversial brand, but I already have this in my collection, and since they have now rebranded and Kat Von D is no longer part of the company, I feel a little bit better about using the products. But yeah, it is a stunning shade, and I'm really happy that I managed to get quite a decent amount of use out of this over the last month. So let's move on to the second part of this video, which is where I wrote in the family items to work on for the next upcoming month. And I currently have 425 items in my spreadsheet. I do think I am missing a few things. Maybe I think my 3 new palettes aren't in here, but everything else should be up to date. And I just haven't had time sitting down updating this with everything, pre-filming for Christmas, things like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with how the spreadsheet is now, but like I said, there is probably 3 palettes missing, but I will definitely add them before next update. So the first item will be number 391. So for number 391, I actually read the name before I read the brand, and the name is actually Heron, and I know it's a lip product, but then I realized it's the one from Maybelline, not from MAC. It would have been funny if it was the one from MAC though, because I just mentioned that one. But it is the lipstick in Heron from Maybelline, which I believe is an orangey red. The second item will be number 246. So number 246 is actually a primer. This is the first time I'm having a primer in, and this is a primer that I have from Chanel, which is the Le Blanc de Chanel primer. So that will be the second product that I'm gonna work on for the next month. The third one will be number 311. And also sorry about if you can hear my neighbor fixing his garden in the background, sorry about that. Yeah, I used to need to film now, so let's just continue up and hopefully he won't make too much noise. But number 311 is one of my YSL lipsticks, and this is one of my Rouge Veloute shines in number 14, and I have no idea what shade that is. The fourth product will be number 358. So 358 should also be a lip product. I will have a lot of lip products to work on in the next month. Yes, so 358 is actually the last lipstick that I have in my spreadsheet, and that is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Supermodel. So the last product will be number 23, which should be an eyeshadow palette, I believe. Let's just double check. Yes, so number 23 is my Deuce eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick those 5 items out, and I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 5 products, and the first one I rolled in was this lipstick right here, and I was right about the shade. This is the shade Heron from Maybelline. This is one of their Super Stay Matte Inks, which is like their version of a liquid lipstick, and they're actually really good. I love the formula of these. So I'm just going to swatch this out and show you what it looks like. So there you have the very wonky swatch of the Maybelline lipstick. As you can see, and also like I mentioned, it is more of an orangey red. I definitely feel like it looks more orange on camera and a bit more coral in real life, but that is going to be the first product I'm going to work on. Next up we have the primer that I mentioned, and this is the Le Blanc de Chanel Sheer Illuminating Base Primer. This is actually one that I really enjoy, but it's one that I kind of started saving for special occasion. The scent of this is very nostalgic to me because it's a primer that I reached for a lot a couple years ago, and yeah, it's gonna be really good to get some use out of this one, and hopefully I will get some really decent use out of this, because currently I'm not really wearing a primer on an everyday basis, so getting it into my routine and start using a primer again would be good, and hopefully I can get a decent amount of usage on this in the next month. I believe next up we had the YSL lipstick, and this one again was one of the Rouge Veloute shines in the shade number 14. This one is quite a summery shade. It's like an orangey base. All of these lipsticks are quite sheer, but yeah, this one is kind of like a corally orange, so it is swatched right there. It's actually quite similar in tone to the one above, just definitely a different type of formula and much more sheer. It's not the lipstick I would probably reach for at this time of year, but I am excited to reach for this because I haven't reached for my YSL lipsticks in a really long time. So getting some use out of this one would be really good. So next up we have the third lipstick that I'm going to work on this month, and this is the shade Supermodel from Charlotte Tilbury. I am really excited to work on this one because it is one of my newer lipsticks, but I haven't really reached for it much because I've been trying to reach for things that I'm panning instead. This is what the shade looks like. It's more of a kind of deeper, I would say like mauve brown. It's absolutely stunning, and I think this will be perfect for this time of year. It is swatched right there, and yeah, I'm just really excited to reach for that lipstick a bit more. Then the final thing that I'm rolling in is my Deuce palette from Juvia's Place. I have worked on this a little bit in my Pandals eyeshadows, and I have reached for this a few times otherwise as well. But I think this will be a really good palette to play with. This is what it looks like, and I think this is a really good winter palette as well. I mean, it might not look that wintry, more kind of springy, but if you take away this kind of, it's really hard to show, but if you take away the bright pink in the middle, I really hope you can see that then it is more kind of a winter palette. So I think this will be a really good palette to reach for, and I think that I will get a decent amount of uses out of this one as well. And there you guys is it for my Shop My Stash update. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to my next video. Bye guys.